Hey everybody, how's it going? It's been a long time since I've done a video, but I figured I'd show you guys what I'm getting into now. I got a motorcycle frame for free. I think it was originally a Rebel 250. I'm going to put the same engine that is on my Ruckus. I don't know if you guys checked out those videos or not, but it's a 212cc engine. It's a Harbor Freight. It's a Honda clone. But anyway, I've had good luck with it. I put it on my scooter and it had cam, valve springs, rejetted the carburetor, exhaust, intake. Anyway, makes tons of power. So I figured for this project I'm going to make like a little bobber style motorcycle out of it, and I'm going to use the same engine with a CVT transmission. We'll see how it works. But I'll show you the frame I have and kind of some ideas that I'm going to do with it. Here it is. I mean, it's pretty much everything's there. Obviously the engine is not. The seat, I have a seat that I'm going to use sitting over on the other bench, but here's the gas tank I'm going to use. I'm going to figure something out with this latch. Is broken, but it'll be okay. I'm going to sand it all down and prime it, but I'm going to go with try to make a flat tank and like a mix between a cafe racer and a bobber. I think this will be a good platform. So right now what I've done is I lowered the forks. This is 1 5/8 inches on each side. All I did was I loosened the triple tree clamps and slid it up. The factory forks on this bike were set higher than the actual travel of the spring itself. So I just took out that extra space, which was about 1 5/8 inches, and moved it up. That lowered the stance of the bike a little bit. It's hard to tell right now, but once I kind of get it together, you'll see it's a little bit lowered. For the back here, what I'm going to do is take these springs out and actually just make little struts at a little bit lower setting. Right now I took the handlebars off, just took the 2 clamps off holding it, took the accessories off, the throttle cable and brake cables. So what I'm going to do now is take this bend out. I'm just going to make them drag bars, so it'll be straight across. To do that, I'm just going to cut these factory bars and re-weld them. Of course you can go buy drag bars or whatever, but if you have a welder, why not just weld them together yourself? So I'll come back with that finished up and clamped back on the bike. Okay, as promised, here's the handlebars now. It's a straight shot. Pretty cool. It's just wide enough, I think. It'll still give me good leverage for turning. And I had to bleed the master cylinder. I had to remount the caliper. When I got it, it wasn't mounted, so mounted it and bled it so the brake now works on the front. I ran out of room because of the way I shortened the bars. This master cylinder here is all the way up against the fork, and it didn't leave me enough room to put the throttle on this side. So I'm doing something crazy, and I've never heard of this done before, but we'll see how it works. I've fixed the throttle so that it's on this side now. So I'll be able to do the front brake. It'll be awesome for burnouts because front brake, twist the throttle on this side, and hopefully that'll work. I'm lucked out with the engine that I'm going to be using, and I'm not going to have a clutch cable or a rear brake cable up here on the steering bar. So this is it. This is all that's going to be up there is just the master cylinder and the throttle. I'm going to wire up this kill switch to the engine that I put on there. It has a start button which is facing the wrong way now, but I'm not going to have an electric start, so that doesn't much matter for me. I can still access the on-off switch from riding position. So I said earlier how I lowered the forks. The rear, I haven't done anything with it yet, but I went ahead and kind of mocked it up, the tank and the seat, to show you guys how it's going to be. This is the little seat I'll be using. This is the gas tank. The engine, obviously, you guys have seen a motorcycle before. It'll be sitting there. I'm going to end up making a piece that comes from this down tube back here. The original motor actually was integrated into the frame, where the back of the engine was mounted here and the front of the engine mounted here, which tied it all together. But with the engine I'm going to be using is not going to be able to do that, so I'll have to run I'll just take a piece of steel and weld it in between from here to here, and I'll be able to put my motor mount straight to that bar, the bar that I put across, and I'll mount a plate to it to mount the engine so I can move it forward and backward and adjust the chain. Then I'll have adjustability on the motor side and on the rear axle side. So what I've been doing is showing you the brief little build-up I'm doing. Just starting out on this, I'm going to call it a bobber thumper project because it's going to be a single cylinder bike. But anyway, I've been doing a little show of like it coming along. This is what I got so far. I'm going to take a break for the day. I'm beat, but I made a lot of progress and not a lot of time. The next thing is I got to get some more engine parts. I'm going to get a new camshaft. I'm going to get new jets, intake. I already have a nice like stainless steel muffler setup I'm going to use on it. I'll probably do it underneath the bike and just kind of keep it a little cleaner. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For right now, this is what I have, and I mean, you guys can let me know what you think. All right, here we go. So I mean, it looks really small in this picture because I'm kind of far away, but it was originally a 250cc bike. So it's, if you've seen a Rebel 250 or a Ninja 250, they're a little bit smaller than big bikes, but that's what I was going for, something lightweight and nimble I can throw around. Just to recap, lowered the front end. Now I've chopped off the back end, but left the cross member there and these gussets. Set the gas tank on there for now. There's the seat I'll be using. It's pretty neat though. Here, I'll show you how I cut the back off there. Just kind of gives it a more open look. Took the back fender off. I'll build a mount that goes across here and catches the back of the seat. The front of the seat is actually going to be bolted underneath the fuel tank. Just slides. It slides underneath there, and I'll have to come up with a mount system for the tank. It might actually, if I can get those bolts in there, be able to just be sandwiched in between. I don't know. Cross that bridge when we get there. Here's the drag bars. You can see they're pretty skinny, but still gives me enough clearance over my tank so I don't slap the tank or anything. Again, got the brake side on this side, but move the gas over to this side. Pretty neat little project. So far everything's been free, so we'll see if we can keep that theme going. I had to buy the engine, but can't avoid that. Thanks, guys.